Hello viewers and welcome to Science TV News. You are here with me, Catherine Ngovi, with my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Omondi. On to our first news item. President William Samoei Ruto on Friday criticized Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka for what he termed as misleading the Ukambani community through divisive and propaganda-driven politics. Speaking during the launch of the Eastern Kenya Integrated College in Machakos County, the president told the residents that meaningful development could only be achieved by aligning with the government's vision and being on what he described as the right side of history. Ruto further urged the Ukambani residents to unite behind his leadership, citing Nyanza counties as examples of regions that have rallied with the government and are currently enjoying the benefits of national development projects.
Huko Homa Bay, Migori, Siaya, Kisumu, tunajenga soko nyingi kwa sababu wamekubali mapema kuliko zile zinajenga hapa. Nyinyi bado mnapinga maana. Hiyo inaitwa nini? Viongozi wa maoni ndogo ndogo. You know? So, and I have said this, we have for far too long we have made peace with mediocrity and the average. Mimi siwezi kukubali sehemu yoyote ya Kenya ibaki nyuma. It is not right, it is not fair, it is not godly.
Moving on to other news. The Orange Democratic Movement, that's ODM, on Saturday kicked off its 20th anniversary celebration with a major rally in Wajir, bringing together senior party leaders in a show of unity, strength, and coexistence. The event was attended by Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, and Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, who hosted and led the celebration. In his remarks, Governor Abdullahi claimed that the ODM has consistently won elections since 2007, but alleged that its victories were repeatedly overturned and stolen. He further emphasized that Raila Odinga remains the party's guiding force and a symbol of resilience.
Lazima tufanye itikadi ya kitaifa na maombi kwa ufupi.
Sisi tunangojea direction ya baba. Baba akisema left ni left. Baba akisema right ni right. Hakuna mwalimu aliyeweza kufundisha wanasiasa katika hii Kenya, kuanzia gavana wa Mombasa, gavana wa Wajir, kuanzia wabunge wa Kenya nzima, hata rais wa Kenya. Hakuna mwalimu zaidi ya baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mzia miaka 20 ya ODM bila Wajir County na bila North Eastern Province. Kwa sababu North Eastern nzima tumetembea pamoja na ODM na kutoka wakati wa KPU, wakati wa Jaramogi Oginga Odinga.
Moving on to other news. Teachers unions and junior secondary school JSS tutors are intensifying calls for the government to grant JSS full autonomy, separate from both primary and senior secondary institutions. The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, that's KUPPET, together with JSS tutors across the country, have expressed concern over the lack of a distinct administrative framework for the newly established system. They argue that the government's decision to domicile JSS within primary schools has created widespread confusion, particularly in areas of school administration, sports, and co-curricular activities. Tutors have staged demonstrations in several counties nationwide, demanding reforms to streamline operations and to secure independence for JSS.
Sisi walimu wa JSS tunataka kujitegemea. Tupewe shule yetu, tukae kama sisi. Mahoi watengenezewe shule yao, waendelee huko. Sisi tunataka kujitegemea. Mogos au! Mogos power!
There is a lot of confusion, starting from the entire administration of these schools to how sports and co-curriculum activities are managed. This is affecting not only the teachers, but also the learners.
By design, the head of institution, popularly known as a HOI, is not competent enough to really manage the curriculum of secondary because the JS grade 7, 8 and 9 are all in secondary.
Hili jambo lina balaa, hata alieleweki. Sisi wenyewe pale hatujielewi, tuko wapi? Tuko shule msingi au tuko sekondari?
How will a teacher teaching grade 9 be given assessment by an hacketing deputy principal who is the class teacher of grade 3 and of course is now the one in charge of the administration of the school? There is no principal, there is no head teacher, the deputy is away. So who is in charge of the school? A senior teacher, and we know a senior teacher in a primary session.
We would request that we have our own administration so that everything else can fall into place.
Walimu wanapoenda kuitisha vifaa vya kufanya practicals kule katika shule zile hazina maabara. Kwa hivyo ni shida moja. Walimu pia wanaitisha vifaa vingine kama vile vya mpira, mambo mengine vya kucheza, unasikia hakuna muda.
Who should be autonomous. They should be left. They should be left on their own. They should have their own principal and school principal because JS teachers are
Moving on to other news. Kakamega County Minority Leader David Athman Ndakwa has secured the United Democratic Alliance party ticket for the upcoming Malava parliamentary by-election. Ndakwa garnered 6,477 votes in the primaries, firmly defeating his closest rival, Ryan Malulu, who polled 3,783 votes. The contest attracted several aspirants, with Leonard Shimaka finishing third after securing 1,192 votes, while Simon Kangwana followed closely with 1,064 votes. Ndakwa's victory now positions him as the UDA flag bearer in the race to succeed the late Malava Member of Parliament, Moses Malulu Injendi. The by-election has drawn keen political interest, with the ruling party aiming to consolidate its support in Kakamega County. Ndakwa, who also serves as an MCA, pledged to build on the legacy of the late Member of Parliament while rallying residents to back his bid for the National Assembly seat.
Tumekuwa hapa tangia kuanzia saa 12. Watu waliacha kazi zao, wakaenda wakarudi, bado wanaambiwa bado kodi hajafanya.
Kwa na mfurukano kwa UDA, mara nani sasa watu hawakuwa na ufahamu. Aswa sana wazee hawachajua ni nani particularly wa kupikia kura.
Tumefanya uchaguzi kuanzia asubuhi mpaka saa hizi kwa amani, isipokuwa kuna tabia imeweza kujitokeza. Our opponent ama the opponent of our preferred candidate ameanza kuorganize vijana na kuwapatia pesa kidogo to induce ili waweze cause chaos.
Aache uoga, wacha tumpige flat and bear. We don't need money. Kama anajiamini aache kupeana pesa.
Moving on to the next news item. The Malawi Electoral Commission, MEC, has announced that it has so far received election results from 32 districts, with only 4 remaining to conclude the tallying process. The country went to the polls earlier this week in a tightly contested general election. According to the electoral body, the declaration of the presidential winner will be made within 8 days of the election as required by their laws. This timeline ensures that all results are verified and any disputes are addressed before the final announcement. The election has attracted widespread attention both locally and internationally, with observers urging transparency and calm as the process enters its final stages. The MEC has assured Malawians of a credible outcome that reflects the true will of the people. And with that, we come to the end of the news. We're taking a short commercial break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.